Hello dear ones, here I am again, full moon. How you all doing out there? Been shaken up like a cocktail. Well, this is a story about, I suppose, a bit about self-love, but it's also earth healing. It's for Wendy. I think she's asked about to do a video for earth healing. I've done lots of videos on it, but this is the most recent one. And I was frantic last night. I've had 3 nights with no sleep. Now I don't sleep a lot in the day. It's just I just don't sleep. I don't know what's going on. So this was the 3rd night, and I don't sleep at full moons anyway. But this was the 3rd night, and I was going frantic. I was frantic. I was doing everything I could. And you have no idea what I'm like when I'm frantic. It's pretty awful. I thought, I've got to do something. Let's just sit down and see what I can do to get this together. And suddenly it came to me that some years ago, a Japanese master that I used to go and see, he said, if you call upon the earth spirit to bring light up through your feet, it will come up through you and heal you. Now I have tried that from time to time lying in bed, but maybe it doesn't work so well lying down. This time I was sitting down in my front room, and I just called on the earth spirit, would you please help me? I can't remember what I said. I definitely felt a little shot of energy go up my left leg and into the kundalini. Now I understand also that the earth's energy comes up the left foot, round the body and down the right. It wasn't very powerful, it wasn't very strong, but I thought that something happened. I did feel this little shot of energy, and I thought, wow, it works. Whether I was more ready for it or not, I don't know, or whether it was just timing or the full moon or all sorts of things, but it did work. So I'm passing that on to you. Bring up the light through your feet, left foot or both feet, and up through your legs, up into your body, and out, and it will bring healing. I'm not saying it was a miracle, but I do feel a bit brighter. I've still got these tremendous pains, so I just think that is absolutely amazing. So I was feeling pretty frantic, and I didn't go to sleep. I tried to do meditation. I'm not very good at meditation, I must admit. I think many lifetimes ago, I used to go into trance. I was a medium when I do trance. So when I sit down to do meditation, I sometimes go into trance-like state, and I wake up suddenly, and I'm shaking, and I feel peculiar, and I get so upset. I've been very upset the last few days. So anyway, I was in one of my upset moods, and I came in here and I said, I just hate feeling like this. It is so opposite to the me, which is the real me. Well, of course, the real me is the spiritual me. There's peace and loving me, I guess. But the personality, I sometimes worry about it. I think, well, I don't know, I try to be spiritual and kind and good, and every now and then there's the other side of me. I'm like Jekyll and Hyde, honestly, it worries me. I can't control it. It just suddenly emerges like a demon. So it was one of my demon moods, even after that level of healing, because I had the meditation and went off somewhere. And I came in here. Now, this is a picture of Marty, my spiritual master. He's younger there. He does all over the world teachings. He's absolutely fantastic. Fibonacci. He sits up there. This is my little altar, I suppose. I sit here and I face that way and I talk to them all about this and that. And I came in here and I said, I just hate feeling like this. And then words came back immediately. Learn to love the weeds. Now, I knew what that meant. I've done a video called Learn to Love the Weeds. It's all about my garden, which I can't get to, as you know. The negative things, the things that we don't like or whatever, the dust, the cobwebs, the weeds. You got to love them. If you can't do anything about them, you've got to love them. And I think he was saying that that I have to love that part of myself, you know. I can't be perfect. I've got this personality which is a bit crap at times, and so we have to learn to love that side of ourselves as well. And I can't tell you how reassured I felt at that point. I thought, it was just silly, because I know God loves me and all that, I've been through all that, but for him to say that, and it was quick, flash. I mean, we should understand, well, we don't understand the masters, but they know everything immediately. But him to come back with the title of my video that I did some months ago, with that, and it was so apt and so appropriate that I just burst into tears. I said, thank you, I'm okay then. You know what I mean? It's like, Well, I need reassurance I'm okay, and I think perhaps a lot of us do, but I struggled all my life to be perfect, and you can't be perfect, of course, not on this plane. Personality stuff goes into it. And I think the lesson is like to learn to love ourselves. But this earth spirit healing was quite something. I'm passing that on because it was quite something. And also, just before the full moon, I got a new little gadget called BlendJet. You can get them on the internet. It's a little thing like this, and it whizzes up things very quick, very easy. And I got a new thing doing a little smoothie in the morning with fruit. I'm trying to get fruit into me, bit of fruit, yogurt, and so forth. Make a lovely little smoothie. And I was cutting up the fruits. I'm not terribly good with vegetables. I must admit, I don't. Not terribly good with vegetables. Only thing I can do is a stir fry because that's hot. I hate salads. I hate cold things. So the fruits I can do, I like soft fruits, and this time of year, of course, it's blackberries, strawberries, everything, And I love to cut them all up. I got all sorts of them, and I just really enjoyed it. And I just said to myself, "Gosh, I really enjoyed that." And I know who it was. It was Joshua. Sent me this burst of love into my heart chakra. Absolutely beautiful. It was just what I needed. I've had a lot of help lately. I just felt like this little sensation, in my heart. It was like he was saying, "Oh, good, he loves the earth plane." Of course, he was here for a long time. Well, not a long time, but he was here. And he's a very earthy master. He loves kitchens. He loves being in the kitchen. He loves people. He loves food and all the stuff that goes with the earth plane. And I think he was just appreciating and saying, that I appreciated it. And he could recognise that and sent me this little bit of love, And I really appreciated that too. So I had some really good stuff from the earth spirit, and I feel sorry for it at the moment. We're going through a really, really powerful, very strong heat wave. The trees, I worry about their leaves because they're not going to last much longer. They get so dry. So I'm very much of an earth spirit person. And of course the North American Indians, and I have a lifetime as a North American Indian, they lay people on the floor to be healed. And if I get really, really desperate, I do lay on the floor. I can't get up again. But because the earth spirit is just give a healing. I think we tend to forget that. We're all aiming for this ascension, and the earth spirit is a good friend. It's the negative side of God. It's the mother of God. God the Father, God the earth plane. It's the more feminine side. This is, as I understand it, it's the feminine side of God, and there is a difference actually. You can feel it at times. The Holy Spirit is very nurturing and very caring. So that's my little story for today. But I also want to mention that I think the lady asked for Earth Spirit healing videos. I've done several. One is called Love the Weeds, which I've just mentioned. There's one also called Tree Love, which is about the love I received from a tree when I was talking to it and standing under it. And actually, I haven't told you this, but when I first moved out here, and there was this cherry tree, and I was feeling very lonely, when I still do, and I stood against it, back against it, and I don't think you'll find this silly, some people will. I felt these little twigs come round me, these little twigs all round my waistline. It was like a little hug. Wasn't that weird, don't you think? But it's nice, isn't it? And that's the Tree Love. And also there's one on corn circles and the 4 elements. That's another healing. There are lots of earth spirit videos going. I think you could look them up on the search thing. And I've got the earth with the earth spirit. I've got, and the other one that I found very helpful is the sequence, frequency of the earth Fibonacci. It's to do with the sound, the frequency of the earth's movement. It does. There's a tape. I've got a video tape. I could write it down for you if you like. The Fibonacci sequence is the notes, the sounds, a bit like the Arcturian sound videos. The sound, HRHZ, isn't it? Hertz, whatever they're called. And it's actually, when I put that on, I do feel again quite a lot of grounding energy. So that's a good one to get into if you get really desperate, not being grounded at these very difficult times. So that's another one. There was something else I was going to mention. Fibonacci, and just remember that you tune into getting out into the fresh air and trees and so forth as well. Not everyone likes nature. I do. I'm very lucky actually. I can get out into it and appreciate it. And on another note, I want to tell you this little story. I think I've got time. No, I haven't. How shall I chance it? I will tell it to you because remember that I've been working very hard at getting rid of letting go of my daughter. This is a little story about going, I don't know whether to tell it or not. I don't know. What time is it now? 10. I could do it probably. I was actually they call it been awake 40 years ago, and I was down by the river, and I can remember it now. Suddenly everything, it was like everything was one. I was one with everything. It was really powerful. And I've just realised that that was my waking up time 40 years ago. So I had to go 40 years being awake, dealing with all this stuff. So I was thinking about this, and I suddenly wondered if my ex-husband is deceased. He's been quite ill. I don't know. Nobody would tell me, but I've been divorced now for 40 years. And I suddenly had this vision. I was sitting here thinking. I suddenly had this vision of the river where this happened to me. A little windy river through trees, and they were overhanging trees, quite a dark shadowy bit really, smooth water over pebbles, and on the banks were great bunches of huge yellow-orange kingcups, bright colours. I think my daughter was there. She was about 12, and I could suddenly see my husband. He was stepping on the stepping stones in the river, picking these beautiful kingcups. He turned to me and smiled and handed them to me. Well, you can imagine. I haven't seen a man for 40 years, and it was a difficult marriage, and I still, even now talking about it, I didn't think I'd be able to, because it was a very emotive moment, and the detail was quite amazing, and it was more than I remembered it. So it was obviously a psychic experience. He'd come to me. I think he's probably deceased. He's passed over, and I think he came to me with these buttercups. Anyway, good story for the Leo moon, which is bright yellow and orange. Leo sunshine. Okay, darlings, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that's not too muddly. Don't forget, if you want to ask me anything or ask me to do a video on anything, please say, because I'm quite willing, quite willing to talk about anything, as you know. Okay then, take care. God bless.